Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Therapeutic Yoga. We are going to do an entire class with the focus on happiness, the here and now. So, the whole reason for today's class is a research study that I read from Harvard Journal that did basically a questionnaire on 600 individuals. They asked those individuals, where is your mind at any given moment? And 67% of the respondents of this survey said that they were living their life always anticipating the next moment. Now, what does that mean? That means 67% of those 600 people are always worrying about what's happening next, anxious about what's happening next, or really just thinking about what's happening next and not enjoying the now. So what we're going to do today is we're going to try to spend the next hour together focusing on trying to enjoy the now. So how do we do that? Well, there's one key thing we need to do, and that is to kind of begin to focus on our nervous system, because the nervous system is what is basically in control of the rest of the body, including our thoughts. One part of the nervous system, called the autonomic nervous system, has two parts. It has the flight or fight stress response, also known as the sympathetic nervous system, and it's got the relax and rest and renew, or parasympathetic nervous system, also known as the relaxation response. So just think about this for a second. If we were wanting to think about happiness, think about the here and now, we're not going to be thinking about the stress response and how to make that more uplifted. We're going to be thinking about that parasympathetic response, that relaxation response, and making that more uplifted. And so that's our entire focus for today. Now, part of our nervous system sits on the front of the spine. So we're going to be doing some poses that create a lot of length through the front of our spine. Allow yourself, as you're going through today's class, to appreciate where you lengthen through the front of your spine and where you don't, but try not to put too much compression specifically in your low back area, especially if you're that person joining me that tends to move your body just too much through the low back area. All right, so the number one thing we can do to start to elicit a here and now response to our brain and our body is to tap into what is called diaphragmatic breathing. So we are going to begin with diaphragmatic breathing. So here's what I would like you to do. Take your right hand and place your right hand on your belly area above your belly button. If you can imagine that you had a buttoned shirt on, you're kind of placing your hand where your 1, 2, 3, fourth button would be on that button shirt. For those of you that don't wear button shirts, that's irrelevant. That's okay. But place that hand so that you're kind of on the upper part of the abdomen, feeling the lower, just below the rib cage. Left hand, take that hand and place it on the center of your chest on your sternum bone. Now, allow yourself just to rock and roll your pelvis a couple of times. Find the middle of that rock and roll. Get that spine nice and tall for me. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, and then just very gently at your hips, hinge just slightly forward until you just begin to feel a little bit of weight go down through those feet and those legs that are resting on the floor. Now, in this position, allow yourself to gently close your eyes. Today, we're going to be focusing on the depth of our breath. That doesn't mean how intensely you breathe. It means how deeply you breathe down into your lungs. So in your sitting posture, whether you're on a bolster like I am or sitting in a chair, allow yourself just to take a moment to just check into where you're normally breathing from. So with your eyes closed, your neck long, your chin gently settled, your tongue on the roof of your mouth, without taking any sort of accentuated or deep breath, as subtle of a breath as you normally have when you breathe. Where do you feel that initiation of that movement? If you already have a little bit of a relaxation breath, then you should feel that right hand on that belly breathe. So that's what we're going to be focusing on doing for the beginning of today's breath class, or not breath class, therapeutic yoga class, but breath work. So with the left hand on the chest now, here's what I want you to do. I want you just to put a little bit of pressure onto that hand. So it's kind of like you're pushing into your chest to stop it from moving some. You're just giving it some tactile feedback to not move. Now, where your right hand is on your belly, that's where we want to try to encourage the movement without forcing a really deep inhale, but slowly increasing your inhale breath. Can you start to bring that breath nice and deep down into those lungs and feel that belly expand? And then as you exhale, can you exhale through that nose very gently, very softly? And as you do that, just imagine a balloon that has a pinhole in it and it's just slowly deflating underneath your right hand. So efficient diaphragmatic breathing, we're controlling, limiting the breath through the chest, through the rib cage, certainly through the neck, and really focusing on that breath into that diaphragm, into that upper belly area. So taking that deep inhale, not worrying about the count today, but depth, meaning how low you can get that air. Gently let that air go in, but feel that expansion of that right hand. And then as you exhale, just letting it slowly, slowly, slowly come out. You've got it. Let's do that again. Nice deep inhale, deep to depth, not deep to force. And then really slow exhale. Okay, let's add one piece of this. So it's all about being present today and being happy. So let's tap into one of the other pieces of the nervous system that fire up or uplift that relaxation response. That's our facial nerve, which is one of the nerves of our cranium up here. So guys, it's as simple as this. Do you know that one thing that stops you about thinking and worrying about the next moment is to smile? Obviously, laughter does it too. But we are focusing on diaphragmatically breathing right now. So what I want you to do is I just want you to put a smile on your face. If you don't have a smile in your heart, that doesn't mean you can't put a smile on your face. But when you put that smile on your face, see if you can put such a good smile on your face that you even see the smile in your eyes. So it's not just a fake smile. Let yourself shine through your smile. All right, keeping those hands where they are. As you smile, close your eyes if you want to, keep your eyes open if you want to. Let's do 3 more of those diaphragmatic breaths. So remember, it's an easy inhale, not forced and hard, but it's deep into that right hand, into that belly. Nice deep inhale. And as you're smiling, just let that air slowly escape out through that nose. Let's do that 2 more times. Keep that smile on. It's hard to smile and breathe diaphragmatically at the same time, but it means you're right here, right now with me. Nice deep inhale. And slowly exhaling as slow as that air can come out through that nose. Very last time for me. Nice deep inhale. And slowly exhaling. All right, relax your hands down, place them on your thighs. So, if one of the things you want to do is just try hard to make yourself think about right now, be present, be relaxed, be happy. One thing you can do is just focus on your breath because you cannot focus on your breath and smile all at the same time as being worried about the next moment. All right, let's get this body moving today. So let's begin with doing a little bit of opening up through our neck. We know that we hold tension and stress in our neck. And one way to make ourselves happy and relaxed is to get the tension out of those neck muscles. So let's start with that today. So take a nice deep inhale with your right arm up overhead. And then as you exhale, place that right hand down behind the back of your neck. Now with your left hand, reach it up forward in front of you. And then as you exhale, place that hand up and over the back of your skull so that if you think about where your elbows are right now, your right elbow is pointed up towards the ceiling. Your left elbow should be pointed somewhere straight in front of you. Now, if to perform those movements with your arms, you completely lifted your chest up and you feel stress in your low back, relax your rib cage down. Let the movement be just through your arms. All right, now keeping that right elbow up in the air. Take a nice deep inhale here. Smile for me, please. And then as you exhale, gently bring that chin down into that left armpit. As the left elbow reaches down, the right elbow reaches even more up. Now, keeping the weight into the legs, smiling on the face, gazing down at your left armpit here. Take a nice deep inhale into the belly. So it's not force, it's how far you can get that air down in there today. Exhaling out. Let's do that one more time. Smiling, deep inhale, deep into those lungs, into that belly, really using that diaphragm, really stimulating that nervous system, and then exhaling out. Then on this inhale, lift the head and the hand back up. And then as you exhale, relax your hands down. Very nice. Let's do that on the opposite side. So left arm, take a nice deep inhale, reach it up. And then on the exhale, place it down behind the back of your neck so that the left elbow is pointed upward. Now with this right hand, nice deep inhale, reach it up and forward. Exhale, kind of cup it around the back of your skull. So just check in for me. Left elbow's pointed upwards towards ceiling. Right elbow's pointed forward. And your rib cage is not lifted and arched and you feel compression into your low back. All right, smiles on the faces for me if you can make that happen. Take a nice deep inhale here. And then as you exhale, dive that chin down and into that right armpit, feeling that beautiful stretch to the back of the left neck. Holding there, gazing down into that armpit, smiling. Can we do that slow, gentle, but deep inhale into the nose, all the way down into the diaphragm? And then as you exhale, relaxing slowly as that air comes out. Can you keep that smile on your face? Let's do that again. Nice deep inhale. And exhaling. Now, on this inhale, lifting the hand and the head back up, and then on the exhale, relaxing the hands down. You've got it. All right. This right hand, just kind of lean over to the left and sit on that hand. So you're just kind of opening up through this thoracic girdle here, and then kind of just gently roll your shoulder blade back so you feel your shoulder blades squeeze together. Left arm, bring it out to the side of you. Take a nice deep inhale as you lift that arm up, and then as you exhale, just gently place that hand up and over the head. Now, make sure that you didn't lose weight through your legs here. Lengthen the neck, settle the chin, smile on that face. Give me a nice deep inhale. And then as you exhale, just gently side tip the head to the left. Now, there's not far to go because you've got your right arm locked, your right thoracic girdle locked. So those ribs on the right side stop the neck from moving. Just go to where you feel comfortable in gentle tension. Put a smile on your face. Gentle ease of your inhale, but deep into your diaphragm for me. Nice deep inhale in. And exhaling out, smiling. Let's do another nice deep inhaling in. And exhaling out. Beautiful. On this inhale, lift the head and the arm back up. And then as you exhale, relax the hands down. And let's do that on the opposite side. So take that left hand, sit underneath it. So have it so that it's on your sit bone. Once you're there, kind of gently roll that shoulder blade back and down. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Then with this right hand, nice deep inhale, lift it up. Exhale up and over that head, holding that third finger on top of that ear. Lengthen the neck, settle the chin, put that weight into your legs. All right. Ready on this side, except for we got to put that beautiful smile on our face. All right, nice deep inhale here. And then as you exhale, gently pulling that head over, you'll feel that it's not a big side bend because you've got those ribs locked down by that left arm. So just go to where you can. As we smile here, give me a nice, gentle, but deep inhale down into the belly. Imagine your hand is on that belly and you're feeling it expand out. And then as you exhale, just gently let that air move out through your nose. Always breathing through your nose here. Gentle but deep inhale into the belly using that diaphragm. And exhaling out. You've got it. Now inhale, lifting the hand and head up. And then as you exhale, dropping that hand down. All right. Now with your right leg. So if you've been in class and you've been sitting in a chair, now's the time to make your way to the floor because we're going to do a little bit of movement with our legs and our arms together. So right leg, bring the right leg gently out so that it's facing towards one of the corners of your yoga mat. So it's kind of out and away from your body, but keep your pelvis and your trunk facing forward. Now, with this left hand, reach and kind of fall behind your bolster to the left side. So your left hand is on the floor, right behind your bolster. So as you do that, what you can see happened is your right arm, a right leg, and your right trunk kind of lined up a little bit. Now, take an inhale, lift your right arm up in the air. And then as you exhale, reach up and over and back. So imagine that you're taking that right arm and lining it all the way up with that right leg. Can you get that length from the tips of your right fingertips to the tips of your right toes? Now, in this position, allow yourself to smile. Take a deep inhale into the belly. Remember, it's not effort, it's depth today. And then as you exhale, keep that length as you open up through the front of the body. Let's do that again. Nice deep inhale, lengthening fingertips, lengthening toes, smiling all at the same time, and exhaling here. All right, now with that right hand on the inhale, lift yourself back up. And then as you exhale, drop yourself down. You've got it. Take that right leg, bring it in. Take that left leg, bring it out. Right leg kind of stabilizes you or anchors you in the middle, but lengthen that left leg out. So your hip is above your knee, so there shouldn't be too much tension in your low back here, but you might feel some tension in your inner thighs or your hamstrings. Now with the right arm, gently bring the right arm behind you on the floor, behind your bolster. So as you do that, you're starting to get this straight line between your left leg, the trunk, and we'll add the left arm here. So take that nice deep inhale, lift that left arm up in the air, and as you exhale, reach back and open. So see if you can get that beautiful line between the tips of the fingertips and those tips of those toes. Find that beautiful length through the front of your body here. Okay, let's smile. Let's find happiness. Let's find that present moment. Allow yourself in this position to then think about, how do I inhale deeply into my lungs using my diaphragm? And then exhaling out. You've got it. Let's do one beautiful, effortless, but deep inhale. And exhaling out as we smile. You've got it. On this inhale, lift that left arm back up. And then as you exhale, drop it down. Bring that left leg in. Now, bring your feet together in this position. Your hips are elevated on a bolster or some sort of pillow or something, but allow yourself to just bring the bottoms of your feet to touch one another somewhere near the center of your pelvis. Now, once you have this position, we're in bound angle or Baddha Konasana in yoga, depending on how you want to say it. Allow yourself just to kind of wiggle your hips for just a quick moment here. So we're not going to be putting forceful tension down out through our hips, but we're going to allow ourselves to gently try to open up through our hips and our pelvis in this position. The very end of our nervous system that connects to our cord or our spinal cord and our brain, it's down here. We think about that as our root chakra, which is the very bottom or base. So we want to kind of access that right now. So allow yourself to find a position that's comfortable but not painful as you gently let your legs fall out to the side. Now, if you have a hip that's finding that not to be a comfortable position, instead of laying your hands on top of your knees, bring your hands behind, hold your knees slightly up and let your legs fall into your biceps. Allow that to happen if your hip is speaking to you and not allowing you to be very present. If, on the other hand, you can gently place your hands on the inside of your knees, do that. Allow your spine to lift nice and tall, lengthen your neck, settle your chin, tongue to the roof of the mouth, smile on the face. Now, I want you to think about that breath coming down deep into the bases of those lungs, using just that diaphragm as much as you can, but letting the breath be gentle as you do it. So 2 times here as we're smiling, nice deep inhale in and exhaling out. Gosh, it's hard to stay smiling, isn't it? It's hard to stay present. Hard not to worry about the next moment. Let's do it one more breath. Nice deep inhale. And exhaling. Beautiful. You have it. Now on this inhale, bring those legs together, and on the exhale, relax there. All right, so we are about to get off of this bolster, but don't throw it too far away from your yoga mat because we're going to be using it in just a few minutes. Before you make your way off of your bolster onto your mat for the remainder of class, what you might want to grab for the very end of class is a yoga block and a yoga strap if you don't have one near you right now, so that you can use that for your very last class pose during Savasana. Okay, now allow yourself to come onto your hands and knees. Keep the bolster somewhere near you. You're still going to need it. And then once you get onto your hands and knees, just take a moment to check in with the alignment of your knees being hip distance. And gaze back and see that your ankles and your hips line up with your knees, and that your feet go straight back behind. Then walk your hands forward for me. Get those wrists and elbows underneath the shoulders, shoulder width apart, so your hands should look wider than your knees right now. Get your index fingers forward, thumbs nice and wide in, spread out those outer fingers, and put yourself in what feels like a neutral pelvis position. So kind of arch your back for a second, tilt your back and sink your belly for a second, and then find that middle of the road. Do the same thing with your shoulder blades. So squeeze your shoulder blades together, spread your shoulder blades apart, find that middle of the road, and find that beautiful tabletop position. Then lengthen through the neck, settle the chin. Check in if you need to by closing your eyes that you've got equal weight into your hands and your knees, so your weight is balanced front to back. And then keep yourself steady in this tabletop position as you lengthen your neck and gently tuck your chin. You're getting some good strengthening through those neck muscles here, gazing down between your thumbs on your mat. Now, keeping your body absolutely perfectly still here, thinking only of the belly and that diaphragmatic breath. So we've changed our position. Let's find a way to make our nervous system happy by kind of facilitating or waking up the front of our spine here. So keeping the spine absolutely stable. Can you use an inhale to bring that belly down towards your mat without your spine moving? And then can you use that exhale through your nose? And as you do, that belly just gently lifts up as the air goes out. So no movement through the body, just through the diaphragm and the belly. Inhale, belly slowly sinks. And then exhale, belly slowly lifts up. Let's do one more. Inhale, belly slowly sinks. And then as you exhale, belly slowly lifts up. Now, gently use the strength of your arms to push yourself back. Rest your sit bones onto your heels. Once you feel like you've comfortably gotten your sit bones towards your heels or as close as they're going to be, allow your belly to rest down on your thighs, your chest to rest down onto your knees, and then gently begin to start to drop your elbows towards your mat. Lengthen your neck. Settle the crown of your head on the floor, gazing back between those toes. Now, child's pose here. Let's take a nice deep inhale. Remember, deep into depth here, not effort, into that belly. Beautiful opening up through that low back, and then gently exhaling out. Nice deep inhale into the belly. And gently exhaling out. Then slowly pushing yourself back up into hands and knees. Now that we've done 3 diaphragmatic breaths in hands and knees, let's go through 3 cat-cows and get some nice good spinal movement with that diaphragmatic breath. So as you're doing your cat-cows today, imagine that hand resting at that 4th button or just below your rib cage. Really try to get your breath to there today. So as you inhale, let the belly sink, let the tailbone lift, shoulder blades come back and down, lengthen through the chest, the front of the neck, and gaze up. And then as you exhale, tucking the tailbone, arching through the low back, rib cage curls under, spread the shoulder blades, neck comes chin to chest, gazing inward. 2 more times. Can you smile while you're doing cat cow? Inhaling as you're dropping down. And then as you exhale, coming all the way back up. One more time here. Inhaling, dropping and dropping. Lifting through that chest, neck, and chin, and gaze. And finally here, exhaling, lifting through the back as the chin comes into the chest and gazes inward. All right, slowly bring yourself back to tabletop. Wherever your bolster is, grab it for me. Place your bolster so that your bolster is somewhere near the upper half of the yoga mat. And then what you're going to do is actually lay yourself down onto the bolster. Now, here's what I want you to think about. If you think about your waistband, where your waistband or the top of your hips are, that needs to line up with the bottom of the bolster. So what you're trying to support here is the bottom of your chest and your belly so that you can diaphragmatically breathe. We're going to do some weighted or resisted diaphragmatic breaths here. You can diaphragmatically breathe into the bolster. And so slowly get yourself into that position. The bolster takes a lot of the weight of your trunk, so your elbows will feel fairly light onto your yoga mat. But let's get some nice good alignment here. So check in that your elbows still stack underneath your shoulders. Your hands are straight forward. Index fingers are the ones that are vertical. Check in that you feel nice comfort through your low back. So you're in a little bit of a decompression position here, not end range extension. So it should feel very good. But if your legs don't quite feel like they're the same length, meaning you might have some tension in one side of the low back or the other, just kind of lengthen those legs out for a second, just so we're kind of helping all different parts of our body today. Now, lengthen your neck, settle your chin, push the shoulder blades apart a little bit, and gaze straight down between your thumbs here. Now, feel where that bolster hits the lower half of your rib cage here. As you take an inhale, push the belly into the bolster. See if you can even think about lifting your rib cage off of the bolster. And then as you exhale through that nose, just imagine that rib cage just deflating and landing back down onto that bolster. Really good. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhaling. Push that diaphragm down as that abdomen goes out and lifts that rib cage off the bolster. And then exhaling out as you drop all the way down. Let's do that one more time. Inhaling. And exhaling as that diaphragm relaxes, that abdomen deflates, and the rib cage lands back down onto that bolster. All right, now we are going to do a modification of upward dog here. So we're going to do a lot of extension through our upper part of our spine. Your low back, your lower part of your spine is slightly protected because of the fact that you're resting over this bolster right now. So here's what I want you to do. Spread those fingers, get those thumbs in nice and far. This is all about using your triceps. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Gaze at your thumbs. As you inhale, try to begin to straighten your elbows. How high can you lift yourself up and away from that bolster? Hopefully your shoulder blades are still back and down, and you're starting to feel a nice, beautiful stretch where those abdominals meet your ribs right now. Neck is nice and long, chin is tucked in, so you're gazing just above your yoga mat here. So a nice modification of upward dog, a nice good supported one for those of us that don't have the best of abdominals or the best of a low back. Hold yourself right here. Take a deep inhale into that diaphragm. Remember, it's deep, but the effort is soft today. Can you smile? And then as you exhale, slowly bend the elbows down, keep the neck long, the gaze comes down towards the thumbs. All right, I'm hoping you did well on that one. Let's do one more time to wake up that spine, wake up that nervous system, and find that happiness. Allow yourself to take that slow but deep inhale into the diaphragm as you use your triceps and try to straighten those elbows. Shoulder blades are back and down. Front of that chest is kind of lifting up. Your neck is long, your chin is tucked, and you're gazing just above your mat here. Now, holding here, take a deep inhale into your belly. Feel yourself push that belly into the diaphragm. Smile. And slowly exhale through that nose as you keep that smile. Soften those elbows and slowly drop yourself back down, gazing at those thumbs. All right, now from this position, what I want you to do is we're going to push ourselves into a child's pose. So just walk your hands a little closer back to your elbows. Effortlessly use your abdominals, tuck your tailbone under. Nice deep inhale, and then on your exhale, push yourself up as you walk your hands onto your bolster. Sit your hips back towards your heels. Settle your belly down. Drop your chest towards your knees, elbows towards the mat, crown of the head towards the floor. Gaze straight back at those toes. Laying on our belly, we always want to go back and open up through that low back for those of us that maybe have a little sensitivity. Now allow yourself to stay here just for 2 breaths. So nice deep inhale into the belly and exhaling out. One more time. Nice deep inhale into the belly. Are you smiling? And exhaling out. You got it. Slowly pushing yourself up, taking your bolster, moving in again to the side of your yoga mat. Finding those hands and knees again, but we're not staying in hands and knees here. We're going into puppy pose. So puppy pose is one of these yoga poses that is really good at creating that length through that anterior spine, that sympathetic chain, and really tapping into that relaxation response. But oftentimes it's done with too much effort, meaning the person puts themselves too far on the end of the position. So what I want you to do is just put yourself where you're happy today in your puppy pose. So make sure that your knees are still hip distance, your hips are stacked directly on top of your knees, and then pay attention right now to where your wrists are on your mat. And then the only thing I want you to do is drop your elbows down to where your wrists just were. Now, if you did that well, you didn't really change the position of your hips relative to your knees, unless you took all of your weight and put the weight forward into your elbows and hands. If you did, push your weight back until you feel some weight into your knees. Now, in this position, lengthen your neck, settle your chin, kind of gaze downward towards the mat at your elbows. You can stay right here in puppy pose and just think about your chest bone, that sternum, that bone on the front of your chest dropping as you squeeze your shoulder blades together. That bone drops towards the mat. Now, that may be the end of your puppy pose today. But if you want to try to advance it, slowly walk your hands a little bit forward, elbows a little bit forward as you start to drop your chest down a little bit more. Keep on going, walk your hands, drop your chest, walk, and find for you, where is the position that you can drop your chest the most without creating pain in your back, pain in your shoulders. Now, if you've got a lot of impingement in your shoulders, you don't need to walk your hands forward. You can walk your hands outward. So puppy pose doesn't mean that you're in full extension of your arms if you've got impingement. So maybe you try just walking your hands out to the sides. Head, you can rotate your head left or right, or if you want that full extension of that spine, you can kind of gently place your chin onto the floor. So you pick what feels comfortable for you. Now, wherever you are in your puppy pose today, We're going to stay here for one breath, but that breath is into that diaphragm. So can you take a deep inhale? Deep meaning not effort, deep meaning how far down you can get into the belly. And then exhaling out effortlessly, like the balloon is just letting go. And then either walking your hands back if your arms were forward, walking your hands together if your hands were out to the side. And once you've done that, slowly walk yourself back into child's pose. As you're going to child's pose, get that alignment through the lower half of your body first. And then slowly begin to settle down. Lengthen through the crown of that head touching the mat. Really get that length through the back of your neck there. Gazing straight back between your toes. Nice, deep, but soft. Inhale into that diaphragm and belly. And exhaling out. One more time. Nice, deep inhale in. Exhaling out. You've got it. All right, one more thing for us to do in this position, and then I promise we'll get off our knees. Let's open up through those lat muscles on the side of our body. So bring yourself halfway up from where you are right now. So if your bottom is touching your heels, come halfway up. If you're not anywhere near your bottom, maybe come fully up into hands and knees, but pick for you what halfway feels. So wherever that is for you, then take your right hand, reach the right hand up the mat as high as you can. Take the left hand and just place it down on the side of your left mat. Now, gazing down towards your mat, so keep your neck long, your chin tucked in. Take a deep inhale here. Then using the strength of your left hand, push into the mat, sit your hips back as far as you can. Gently let the crown of your head come down towards either the left forearm or the floor. Let's do 2 of those nice diaphragmatic breaths here. Can you effortlessly put a smile on your face? Nice deep inhale in. And exhaling out. One more time. Deep inhale in. And exhaling out. You've got it. Using that left strong arm, push yourself back to hands and knees. Bring the right hand over to the right edge of the mat. Remember, you're halfway for you in the difference between hands and knees and child's pose to begin. Left hand, reach it as far as you can up that mat. Then using the strength of that right hand, nice deep inhale here. Exhale, pushing yourself back, feeling that opening through that left arm, left side of your body. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, gazing down to the mat, either dropping your crown of your head to your forearm on that right side or to the mat. Can you find that deep diaphragmatic breath? So nice and deep inhale into that belly area where you can just imagine your hand touching. And then slowly letting the air go out without any force. One more time. Nice deep inhale in. And slowly exhaling out. And then on your inhale, pushing yourself back up. Taking your hands back to shoulder width. Final time here, sit yourself back into child's pose. So take a deep inhale, exhale, slowly tuck that tailbone under, sit on back, belly to thighs, knees to chest, or chest to knees, however you want to look at that. Lengthen the back of your neck, crown of the head to the floor, dropping those elbows. Gaze straight back for me. Think of nothing other than smiling and where that hand would be placed on that belly. Take a deep inhale into that belly. Slowly let that air exhale out without any force. Deep inhale in. Right to that belly. Are you smiling? And exhaling out. You've got it. All right, pushing yourself up. Let's allow ourselves to kind of lay onto our side. Once you're laying onto your side, then you're ready to roll over onto your back. So I really encourage people to always lay onto their back through their side. It's so beautifully safe for your low back rather than rolling yourself down from a sit up position. That's it. So let's find this nice laying on our back position. Lengthen the back of your neck, settle your chin, feel your shoulder blades touching that yoga mat. Allow yourself to keep your knees bent here. Feet are flat on the mat, about hip distance. Once you feel like you have all of that, and then allow yourself to bring your right knee to your chest. Now, with your right knee to your chest today, hold the right shin bone with both legs or both hands. Those are not legs, those are hands. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, place a beautiful smile on your face. Listen, if you need to think of something funny, you need to think of someone funny, you do that. But place that smile on your face. And then I want you to feel where the belly touches the thigh on that right leg. Can you smile and take a deep inhale into that area? And then as you exhale, just gently let that air come out. Let's do that again. Nice deep inhale. Slowly exhaling that air out. You've got it. And then releasing the right foot down to the mat, taking the left knee towards your chest. And then once you have that knee to your chest, hands around that shin bone. Allow yourself to lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Take a nice deep inhale here. Feel that belly press against that left thigh. Keep that smile on your face. And then as you exhale, you're gently bringing that knee to your chest. Let's do one more of those breaths. Nice deep inhale in and exhale out. Excellent. Place the left foot back on the floor, right where you found it. Take your right leg, cross your right leg up and over your left knee. Now we are going to do thread the needle through the lower half of the body today. If you know this is too much of a challenge for you, then maybe that block is somewhere near you and you're just going to work on pushing that knee away from you. But if you feel like you're up for the challenge of full thread the needle today, allow both hands to come up and around the leg on the left side. Now, once you're in that position, allow yourself to lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Now, here is what is key. Pay attention to your right pelvis and make sure that that right pelvis is down on the yoga mat. So for a lot of us with left hips, we kind of lifted ourselves up and over to the left as we picked that right ankle up over that left knee. So can you find a way to push that right pelvis back down onto the mat? You've got it. Now with that right elbow, you can gently push that right elbow a little bit out into that right knee. Maybe take those toes and kind of point them up to engage through the legs. All right. I hope you feel the whole right hip happy here. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, put a smile on your face, and let's take a deep inhale into that belly. And then exhaling it out effortlessly while still smiling. Let's do that one more time. Nice deep inhaling in. And exhaling out. Beautiful, relaxing the feet and the ankles, slowly dropping the left foot down to the floor and then uncrossing the right leg, taking the left ankle up and over the right knee. Again, if you know that the normal thread the needle pose is too advanced for you and you want to use a block against your left knee, by all means, feel free to do that. If you want to do the full pose here, let's take this right leg up and bring those hands around that right inner thigh and underneath the knee. And then once you're in this position, if the left hip is tight, you'll have felt the weight kind of go up and over to that right side. So I want you to take some effort right now to push that left pelvis back down into the mat. All right, left elbow can be against the left thigh. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Let's take these toes and engage them up. You've got it. Now, in this position, place that smile on your face. Can you do it? All right, let's do a nice slow, deep inhale into the diaphragm. So it's not about pushing and forcing, it's about getting it deep and slowly in there. And then slowly let that air come out effortlessly, like there's not even a muscle making that happen. One more breath, keep that smile going, keep that hip happening. Deep inhale in and exhaling out. You've got it. And then releasing the right foot to the floor and dropping that left foot back down onto the floor. All right, so we're doing a class on happiness today. So what I thought we would do is do a low back exercise that I call smiley face. So since we've been working on smiling through our face, let's see if we can smile through our bodies here. So let's do this all together. So we're going to start with taking our left leg and placing the left leg down on the left corner of your mat. Now, once you've done that, use your right leg and pick your hips up and shift your hips so that they come to the right side of your mat. Take your left hand, bring it down onto that mat. Once you have it down onto the mat, use your fingertips and walk your shoulders over to the left side of the mat. It's kind of like you're reaching for that ankle, but you can't get it there. All right, now once you have all of that, can you see that you've already made a little bit of a smiley face with your body? Okay, now here's the hard part. Can you take that right leg and bring that right leg down and hook it up and over that left leg? Yes, I know you feel that through the outside of your left hip, through the right hip, sorry, through the outside of that right back. But yet, let's add one last thing. As you inhale, lift that right arm up. And can you find, where is it? Where is my top left corner of my mat? All right, happy face through the body, opening up through that spine. All right, gazing straight up here. Can you check in that your right pelvis is on the yoga mat? Can you check in that your right shoulder blade is on the yoga mat? Can you check in that you're smiling? All right, let's do a nice deep inhale into that diaphragm. Belly breath, please. Then exhaling out. Man, does that feel good on the low back and the spine. Let's do one more time. Deep inhale. And exhaling. Beautiful. Bringing that right hand down first. Unhook that right foot off of that left and put that right foot back onto the mat. Slide your shoulders back up level with your mat and then slide your left leg up. Once your left foot is up, bring your pelvis back to the center of your mat. And let's do that happy face again so that we get the left side of our low back. So let's do this together. So right foot, straighten the leg out and bring it to the right bottom corner of your mat. And then using your left hips and your left leg, lift your pelvis up so that the pelvis is coming to the left side of your mat. Right hand, walk those fingertips down so that you bring your shoulders and your rib cage towards the right side of the mat. Can you see the happy face if you were to see yourself from above already beginning? All right, now here's the hard part. Left leg. Can you take that leg and pick it up and over that right leg, but this left pelvis, push it down onto the mat, and then with that left arm, inhale and reach it up. And can you find that right top corner of the mat? Oh yes, we're supposed to be happy right now. This is a class on happiness. All right, left pelvis, really push it down onto the mat. Left shoulder blade, push it down, lengthen your neck, settle your chin, put a smile on your face, and can we breathe into that diaphragm? Nice deep inhale in. That's it. And exhale. Boy, does that feel good on my left low back. Can you do that one more time for me? Nice deep inhale in. And exhaling out, and then release the left arm down. Pick up that left leg, place it on the yoga mat. Shift your hips back to the center. Slide that right leg up. Now, wasn't that fun? Fun. happiness. Just remember that. Okay, now walk your feet over to the right edge of your mat. We're going to do a little modification on spinal twist today. Once you have your feet over to the right edge of your mat, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take your left leg and cross it all the way over your right leg. Now, in this position, allow your arms just to gently come out into kind of a goal post position. Taking a nice deep inhale here, and then as you exhale, the left leg, you're slowly pulling that right knee down towards the yoga mat. Hopefully you can feel that beautiful opening through those right abdominals, the right front of the thigh, the right hip. Now keep the arms just gently in that goal post position, but allow yourself to lengthen your neck right here. And then just slowly take that right ear down to the yoga mat, gazing at that right elbow. Now, can you put that diaphragmatic breath into that body as you put a smile on your face? And then exhaling out. Let's do that one more time. Nice deep inhale into the belly. And then exhaling out. Beautiful. Bringing the head back to the center position, using the muscles of the spine to curl those knees back up into their upright position. And then uncross the left leg over the right. Walk those feet, walk those feet, walk those feet over to the left edge of your mat. And take that right leg up and over that left leg. You've got it. Arms are still in goal post position here. Allow yourself to take a nice deep inhale in. Right leg pulls the left leg, creates that modification of spinal twist. Feel the opening through maybe the thigh, through the front of the pelvis, through the abdominals. And then when you have wherever your comfortable position is, lengthen your neck, settle your chin, turn your gaze so that your left ear is touching the mat and you're gazing at that left elbow. Nice deep inhale into that diaphragm, into that belly. And then exhaling out. Can you place that smile on your face? Nice deep inhaling in. And exhaling out. And slowly bring your head back to the center, de-rotating that spine as you use back and abdominal muscles, bringing those knees upright, and then uncrossing your leg, walking your feet to the center, and slowly rolling yourself over onto your side. Stay there, take a nice deep inhale, and then on the exhale, bottom elbow, top hand, push yourself up, and let's get ready for that final position for class today. So we are gonna do a bound angle. So like we did in sitting at the beginning with a bind, that's hard to say, a bound angle pose with a bind. So take your bolster, take your yoga block. You can do a couple of different positions with your yoga block. So you can do nice and low, or you can do nice and high, kind of pick whatever feels comfortable for you. I think I'm gonna go low today. And then just gently place your bolster onto the yoga block. Now, the lower you go, the harder it is. The higher you go, the easier it is to stay into this bind. So you know your body, you know your back. Do what works for you. All right, now I'm going to stay facing you just for a moment until we take this yoga strap or this scarf or this rope or whatever it is that you are using today and get it in the bind position. Then once you have it in the bind position, we will turn around and get ourselves where we need to be. Now, here's what I need you to do. Take your feet, place your feet together, take the yoga strap and take one end of the yoga strap down and around your feet. The yoga strap goes all the way up and over the hip, behind the pelvis, up and over the other hip. Now, if you've got a yoga strap, you can loop it here. If you're using just a rope or something, then you could just tie it here. But just start to put a little bit of what's called a bind into it, but don't put it really, really tight because you got to turn your body here, okay? So once you have it, then allow yourself to turn yourself so that your sacrum, that middle of your pelvis, is touching that bolster. All right, now, once you're there, tighten your bind to wherever you feel comfortable today. So your bind might be nice and tight. Your bind might be even more loose. You pick what you want, but I want you to give it a try. Then once you're here, I want you to use lots of good arm strength to allow yourself to recline. So don't let yourself just fall back. Place your arms beside the bolster, and then gently bend your elbows as you slowly find yourself in that reclined position. Now make sure that that yoga strap is down on the pelvis, not on your low back. We're not trying to anteriorly shear a lumbar spine segment. We are trying to create the most opening you can find in a relaxed state through the pelvis and the inner thighs here. All right, now with these arms, just gently rest your arms down beside you. Elbows are kind of pointed downward towards the floor, but supinate your hands, meaning turn your hands upward so that the palms are facing upward. Lengthen through your neck, settle your chin. Okay, I've got something maybe fun for us to do here. So lengthen your neck, settle your chin, and maybe place that smile on your face. Not just your mouth, remember, try to get that smile through your whole face. All right, we're gonna try to find our happy place here. How about we end our happiness class trying to find our happy place? So gently close your eyes. And then as you close your eyes, start to envision a place in your mind that as soon as you think about it, your body and your mind and your breath, everything just feels ease. As you think about that place, let's investigate it. So look around you. Let's start to see if there's any water. Is there any water around you? Is that a lake? Is it a creek? Is it a river? Is it an ocean? Are there any mountains around you? Maybe some nice little hills? Maybe it's flat as can be. How about some trees or foliage or plants? Take a moment to really investigate and dive into that place that comes to mind when you think about happiness. Are there any buildings? Any structures? Are there any people besides yourself? Or do you embrace your happiness place with just perfect solitude? All right. Finally, the very last thing I want you to think about is when is that happy place in your mind? That place that you picture, was that from 20 years ago, 10 years ago, a year ago, an hour ago? Whenever it was in your past, remember it's your happy place. To make it your present, all you have to do is think about it. And as you're smiling and thinking about that place, you're not anticipating the next moment. You're not worrying. You're not anxious. You're not forcing yourself to be part of that 67% in that Harvard study that never takes the time to be present. All right, keep that smile just for a couple more seconds. Keep that happy place. Where is it? What does it look like? Who are you with? Are you in glorious solitude? And when was it? And then realize in your mind's eye, it is right now in this present moment. Now, very slowly, can you take that gentle, deep breath into that diaphragm. And gently let that air go out. One more breath. Gently inhale. And gently let that air go out. All right. Slowly wiggle your fingers, maybe some circles with your wrists. Let's get at it as bind the safe way. So if you can, very slowly turn yourself over to one elbow and push yourself up. You got it. Then release the tension in your strap, however you have, if it's a tie or a loop or whatever, and then just slowly taking the strap away from your body. Finding yourself in a nice, good, easy pose today. Hands to our hearts and smiles on our faces. I hope you feel as happy as I do. One, for joining me. Two, for being present for the last hour. Nice deep inhale in and exhaling out. Namaste. The highest in me salutes the highest in you. Thank you for joining me today.